The 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda was only a few days ago as of writing the script, and all we heard was complete silence. That day seriously just came and went. Nothing happened in terms of Zelda. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green were released on the Switch, which is really cool, but nothing for Zelda. And honestly, that's okay, since Nintendo doesn't usually announce anything on the anniversary day. They usually announce at least something after a few months. Imagine if they have nothing for the 40th anniversary. That would be really disappointing. But I'm mentioning this because I'm afraid we won't get an announcement for the next Zelda game this year. And that got me wondering, are the last two Zelda games the best it's gonna get? I mean, since the series started, they've wanted to perfect that open world, explore anything at any time aspect in a Zelda game. And in Breath of the Wild, they finally did it. They finally made the Zelda game they have always wanted to make. And a lot of people say that it isn't a true Zelda game, and I get why they say it, but I don't think Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom aren't Zelda games. They definitely are. And I'm not saying flat out that Breath of the Wild and Tears are the best in the series. I just think that they might not try to invent the wheel again and try something new. Breath of the Wild and Tears might just be their magnum opus. They accomplished what they've been wanting to for decades in a Zelda game, so why would they try something different? Obviously they should, because they've been doing that since Zelda 2 in 1987, but they might not think it's necessary. And that's what a lot of people, including me, are afraid of. What if they never do another weird Zelda game like Majora's Mask and experiment? What if they never experiment with a new art style like they did in Wind Waker? What if they think that the Zelda franchise doesn't need another big 3D game? I know I'm being a little bit pessimistic, but I've been thinking about this for quite some time. Now, I hope I'm wrong on them not announcing a game this year, but honestly, if they do, it'll probably just be another 2D remake or a new 2D game. And that's great, but I hope Breath of the Wild and Tears aren't it for the 3D games. But that's what it almost feels like for me, since like I said, this is probably the peak for them. Obviously we want another 3D Zelda game with classic dungeons and whatnot, but Nintendo might not want to put in the effort since they already did what they strived for. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get an Ocarina of Time remake in the future, and that would be absolutely amazing. But honestly, I don't think they will ever try to do the classic Zelda format again. Aonuma did say that the openness of Breath of the Wild is here to stay, so yeah, the chances of another classic format Zelda game is really low. This is all just speculation though, don't take anything I say seriously, I'm just hoping and gushing. I also forgot to mention something very important, which is they are working on a live-action movie for Zelda, so that is pretty huge. That also brings the chances of a new game down a little bit, since they probably want to focus on that for the next few years. Now, if they do end up doing another 3D Zelda game, something I really want back is Link having an instrument or instruments. That's one of the things that I really loved, was the fact that Link was basically a musician. I feel like that would have been really awesome in Breath of the Wild. Maybe they tried it, but it just didn't fit the game. Another thing I want is just something weird and experimental like Majora's Mask. They've been more on the serious route, which I love, but they haven't done much weirdness since. Now, that's not to say Majora's Mask wasn't dark and serious, it definitely was, but it was also really weird. They might not want to do that again though, and that's fine. I love the dark tone of the recent 3D games. I just think it would be really fun if they did something as experimental as Majora's Mask. Something else that I and most people want to see again is the classic dungeons. I actually really love the shrines in Breath of the Wild and Tears. They do get repetitive after a while, but I still love them regardless. It reminds me so much of Portal. I always say this feels like a Zelda game on the Source engine with all the physics-based stuff. But anyway, I think it would be great to see classic dungeons brought back instead of shrines for the next game. Like I said, I love the shrines, but it would be really nice to have those unique and different dungeon themes and also the items you would get from these dungeons. An idea I've had for the next Zelda game is to somehow mix Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild. Maybe have Link finding his old ocarina be part of the story, and like mix the open worldness of Breath of the Wild and the classic linear side of Ocarina of Time. I don't know, that might not be possible, I'm just dreaming hard. Honestly, I don't really want to know what the next Zelda game is going to be. I kind of just want to be surprised. I hope that they bring back some classic stuff, but also try and experiment a little bit. I don't know, I'm just hoping for what might be the next Zelda game. And the point of this video isn't to say that they will never do another 3D entry in the series. I'm saying the way the next game will probably follow in the path of Breath of the Wild and Tears. I'm afraid they might just keep doing the shrines and not have those classic dungeons and themes. And that's what I'm trying to convey with the title of this video. They might not think that they need to do anything different than what they accomplished with the recent games. Breath of the Wild is the best-selling Zelda game, so why try and go out of the box? And I get why they wouldn't want to take that risk of trying trying something new, but I'm afraid that since they might just stick with what's selling the best, the series might become stale and possibly die. I really hope not, but that might be a possibility. This really makes it sound like I hate the recent Zelda games, and that is the complete opposite of how I feel. Breath of the Wild is probably my third favorite Zelda game. I love the broken and desolate atmosphere, the vast and open world where you can go literally anywhere at any time, and the shrines I think are really fun. Yes, the uniquely made dungeons from the past games are better, but I don't know, I really like those shrines. They do get stale after a while, but I still love them. Well, some of them. But yeah, I don't hate the new Zelda games and their format. I just hope that Nintendo won't just go, well, it does sell the best, fuck it, we won't do anything different. Because that would be really disappointing. But I actually have high hopes of them not doing that despite what I've said this whole video. Now, I've mentioned what I would want in a new Zelda game and what might happen, but I want to end this video off with saying when I think they will announce a new 3D Zelda game. I do genuinely think they will have something later this year, probably not a new game, but something. But in the next coming years, I think a new 2D game will definitely happen, even just a remake. But for a 3D game, I think we will be waiting for a while, honestly. Definitely not anytime in between the movie, because, well, for obvious reasons, but maybe a couple years after? Maybe if the story is unique and doesn't follow any of the past games, we'll get a game that is based on the movie story. And I think that would be really cool, but honestly, I think the movie story will just be following one of the past games. And that's not an issue at all. I think I kind of lost the plot of this video and just went off on a tangent, but basically the point of this video was to just give my opinions on what could happen for the next Zelda game, what could happen for the series, and what I think Nintendo is up to with the Zelda franchise and what they could possibly be doing. And also I wanted to give my 2 cents on what I would want for a new Zelda game. But anyway, what are your thoughts on what I've said in this video? Did I spew a bunch of baloney and sound like a broken record, or did I make good points? Let me know, because I could have said a whole lot of malarkey for all I know, but I think I did good though. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I love talking about anything Zelda and making videos about this amazing game, so expect more videos in the near future. If you have any ideas for what I should do or talk about, then feel free to let me know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now. Thank you so much for watching.